What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We are here for an absolutely electric Saturday in college hoops, guys. We have two magnificent matchups with four teams rated in the top four, battling out in two head-to-head games. Let's get started off in Houston, guys. We have the Houston Cougars at home against the Arizona Wildcats. Both of these teams, guys, as we sit here today, are most likely going to end up as one seeds in the NCAA tournament. This Houston team right now, guys, is sitting at 23-3 overall. They're 14-12 against the spread. And at home, this is a team that is very difficult and very challenging to beat. This is a tall team, very long, defends incredibly well. This is a team that knows how to shoot the ball, and star freshman point guard Fleming leads the charge offensively in attack. One area of concern, guys, when we're looking at this Arizona team, superstar freshman Koa Pete is going to be out in this game. The Houston Cougars right now, guys, are sitting as 4.5-point favorites at home. With Koa Pete out, that's going to change the dynamic of how this game is going to be played, both offensively and defensively. These are both of these teams, elite defensive units. On a point per possession basis, both these teams are top 5 in the country. So you're looking at two teams that are going to know how to shut down the opposition's offensive threats. Without Koa Pete, though, this is a Houston team that knows how to shoot the three ball, and stylistically speaking, offensively, this is a team that should have some success inside, more so, obviously, than they would if Koa Pete was playing. So with that said, this Houston team is going to be able to shoot the three ball. They're probably going to be able to get into the paint and finish without Koa Pete defensively in that interior, manning that Arizona defense. And defensively, this Houston Cougars team is going to force Arizona, who's not a very good three-point shooting team, to shoot a lot of perimeter shots, whether they're two-point jump shots or even longer-range three-point jump shots. And that's an area in which this Arizona team does struggle. When I'm looking at the way that this game breaks down and the way that it settles, because Houston is at home, we talked about Houston previously when they went to Ames and battled it out with Iowa State. I was super impressed with how Houston played. I know they ended up losing the game. This is a team that was up 10 in Ames, a very difficult place to win, and ended up bottling the game and losing it outright. But with that said, after that performance, you have to start taking this Houston Cougars team a little bit more seriously. I don't see a very good matchup for Arizona this afternoon, especially as I mentioned with Koa Pete out. They're going to be able to lock down. They're going to be able to strap. They're going to be able to slow down Houston offensively a bit. But is that going to be enough to control the game and to be able to stay within the number or potentially win the game outright for Arizona is the question. We saw this Arizona team at home against BYU. After a couple of tough losses against Kansas on the road and Texas Tech at home, we saw them rebound against BYU in a victory. However, they hit a ton of threes. They were at home, and they got a lot of bench production. That's the recipe to success, in my opinion, for Arizona today if they want to stay within the number and if they want to challenge. With all of that said, I don't see that happening. In a tough road environment, in a situation in which stylistically Houston has the edge in three-point shooting and in shot selection inside and outside, I think this ends up being an 8-point victory for the Houston Cougars. I don't see Arizona staying within the number. I think this is going to be a very difficult task for Arizona, especially without Koa Pete. Best bet on the board for the entire day, 10-star play, Houston Cougars, -4.5 at home. I think they win this game close to double digits. I love this Houston Cougars team right now. I think they're better overall than Arizona without Koa Pete. They're at home, and they're absolutely a better coached team. The best game on the board from a viewer's perspective, the most entertaining game. Another absolute electric battle, this one on a neutral court in Washington, D.C., which is strange to say at the end of February in college hoops. And it's an out-of-conference game, obviously, for both teams. You have the Duke Blue Devils as the 3 seed. You have the Michigan Wolverines as the 1 seed. You have Cameron Boozer. You have Yaxel Lendeborg. You have a ton of star players on both teams. The Michigan Wolverines right now are 2.5-point favorites. In my opinion, guys, this Michigan team is the best team in the country. If there's a team that's out there that can flip the switch and go on an absolutely insane run in-game, it's the Michigan Wolverines. We've seen it time and time again. They just flip the switch on, turns the coaching up, and this team is capable of going on a 20-0 run with the best of anybody in the country. This line, in my opinion, should be bigger than Michigan -2.5 points. Why do I say that? First and foremost, Michigan is a more battle-tested team. They play in a more difficult conference. They have a better record. They have far superior depth in their scoring attack. I also don't think the way that this Duke Blue Devil team stylistically plays offensively is going to be a threat to this Michigan Wolverines defense. This Michigan Wolverines offense is elite. This Michigan Wolverines defense is absolutely elite. They're long. They get rebounds offensively. They get rebounds defensively. Cameron Boozer, on the Duke Blue Devils side, is going to have his level of success. But in order to really challenge this Michigan defense, you got to stretch them out. You have to pull Mara outside. You have to make him defend the perimeter. You have to make their bigs defend outside. We saw Wisconsin have a ton of success with their three-point shooting on the perimeter in Ann Arbor and end up winning that game outright. The only loss Michigan has this season. In my opinion, that's the way, or one of the ways, to really stress this Michigan defense. I don't really see that from Duke and from Cameron Boozer. Boozer's shooting 40% from 3, but he doesn't shoot a ton of threes. He's going to have his success. He's going to get his points, and he's going to get his rebounds. This Duke team defensively is probably going to have some success against Michigan. They're very long. They got guys 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11". They're going to be able to match up physically against this Michigan team defensively. However, staying within the number and being able to challenge this Michigan team on the offensive side of things, I really don't see it from this Duke team. Another 10-star play, I like it a bit less than the Houston Cougars. It's the Michigan Wolverines -2.5 points on a neutral site in Washington, D.C. I think they end up winning this game by 6 or 7 points. In my opinion, as I mentioned already, this Michigan team is the best team in the entire country. Right now, they're my favorites to cut down the nets in March. With all of that said, guys, enjoy both of these games. These are two absolutely phenomenal basketball games on Saturday afternoon at the end of February, with all four teams right now as we sit here today in line to get 1 seeds in March. With that said, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be up 20 units today and back tomorrow for more winners on the hardwood.